All right, guys. So, sorry for starting this so late, but right now, we currently have. I know that this is late, but I'm just gonna walk you guys through what I see. We have a bearish SMT divergence on ES and on NASDAQ, and I'm looking to go short on ES because it's the leading index to the downside, looking to target these lows, these lows, these lows. I haven't entered just yet. I'm waiting for a little bit more confirmation. We did break structure to the downside on NASDAQ, but all that we have right now is just this 5-minute SMT divergence. I would low-key want to wait for a little bit more of a confirmation. I mean, like if this filled equilibrium, that could be solid. I mean, yeah, we got really freaking close there. So as long as I can just see confirmation confluences down and out of this or out of this retrace, then that would be good. But unfortunately, we're kind of in no man's land right now. We're in this like big ass, like imbalanced price range right through here, which is also leading me to want to be at least somewhat bullish up until these highs. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that there's opportunity to trade at least down to these lows or these lows, these lows, and these lows, which I think is very possible and, pretty likely, low-key. So we're getting these moves down. I'm going to go ahead and enter short here on ES. And I'm going to put my stops above these highs right here, because that would pretty much be invalidation of the SMT divergence. And let's see where price wants to go. Setting all of these stop losses right now because I had to split my positions up. Okay. First take profit for me is literally just going to be as simple as looking to target these 5-minute lows right here. And then from there, we can go ahead and we have like all of these 30-minute lows that are stacked up. But this would be the completion of the 5-minute SMT divergence. So just taking profit underneath these lows would be a good starting point. And then from there, we have equal lows right here. That would be a great point to look to take profit. NASDAQ is moving off of that equilibrium, which is great. These are all hourly lows that we kind of have stacked up here. Yeah, and other than that, this looks pretty solid right now. I would like for price to come down and at least sweep out these hourly lows before wanting to come back up and look to take out these highs, but bare minimum, we should be taking out these 5-minute lows right here. That's like bare minimum. So we're getting a decent retrace right now. NASDAQ didn't get anywhere close to those 5-minute lows. It's also pretty late in the day. It's 10:20 Eastern right now. And we haven't really seen much of a move. Like, we had market open and then just give us that big leg up. Because we had that gap up from the weekly open. The new week opening gap was already filled by Asia session. But we've kind of just been going up only. If we look at what the past sessions did, Asia session was just up only. London session was pretty much just a manipulation of these lows, and then moves up and reversals up. Again, like I said, it would make sense for ES to want to target these highs. But again, because we had that bearish SMT, I was at least right now, at least hoping that we would want to come down and at least take out these 5-minute lows before wanting to go higher, at least give us some form of manipulation, because we didn't even get any pre-market manipulation on either of the indexes. Neither of these indexes gave us any sort of manipulation during pre-market to like fuel for another bigger leg up. We had market open and then we just moved immediately up. So yeah, we'll kind of have to watch and wait. We'll see if this forms a 1-minute SMT divergence, or we actually that's another 1-minute SMT divergence from these highs down to these highs, from these highs up to these highs. But again, if that isn't the overall bias for the day, then price is just going to disregard that. All right, let's see what price does here. See if that was like all the reversal that it wanted, just taking out these lows, which would kind of suck because we were decently in profit. But we'll see. I think looks like we're gonna get spanked, I'm not gonna lie. We'll see though. Especially now that the SMT is invalidated. I don't know about this no more, guys. We'll see, maybe this is the triple top needed. NASDAQ, we created a new high. Yes, we made an equal high. Ooh. Wow, no freaking way, imagine. Hello? Yeah, you can let him in. Let's see what happens. I low-key think we're smoked on this, guys. We'll see, though. I mean, shit. We very well could hit, like, even though we have equal highs here and relative equal highs up here, like 3 highs stacked up, and that's a super strong draw on liquidity that price is probably just going to want to go up and take out. It's, you know, we could potentially go lower, but I'm not too optimistic about the direction of this. It's not looking good, boys. Quadruple top? Now we're definitely smoked. Wow, still not stopped out yet. Almost there, though. We're real fucking close to it. Wow, imagine now. One-minute bearish SMT on NASDAQ. Imagine this is what starts it. I kind of doubt it, though. Wishful thinking, we'll see. Low key though, it's nice because the longer that we consolidate here, for me, means that the deeper that we could potentially go. Because originally I was just looking for whatever, a move up and then boom, a sweep, and then for us to carry this out. But if we get move down and then chop, 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 if the move is down, then I'm thinking we target these lows. Wow, imagine this. Literally, look how close it. Oh, jeez, turned off. Look how close it was to my stop loss. Jeez, bro, this dumbass Uber Eats driver keeps pinging me. I'm so sick. Also, guys, I took a trade on. When was that? On the 7th, 3 days ago. So it was on Friday. I lost a trade on Friday. I'll do the trade recap on that once this ends up playing out. So this will be 2 trade recaps in one, but I lost a trade on Friday, so I'm down this month actually by $150,000. I did take a losing trade on Friday, and I didn't post it on my Instagram story. I'm going to post it today because we were doing that big event and we wanted to make sure that the Instagram story was like just on that. I know it sounds stupid, but from a social media perspective, hopefully you guys don't care too much if the trade that I took is, or like the results of it gets posted 3 days later. And it's a fucking loss anyways, you know? And it was a pretty decently sized one. I lost $150,000. But most people, they would probably not tell anyone about it and just like go about their day. But a guy like me, you know, if I show my daily, monthly, and weekly P&L and there's somehow a minus $150,000 missing from that or negative in there that you guys haven't seen before, you're going to be like, what the fuck? All right, dude, this is taking forever. Let's hurry this up. Bruh. Tomorrow's a bank holiday too, so price isn't gonna move for shit tomorrow. Just something to keep in mind. Wow, bro, this is taking forever. I might as well go and draft up what that other trade looked like. I'm pretty sure I took it on NASDAQ. I did. So cool, we'll leave this S&P 500 trade on here while I go and just show you guys what trade I took on NASDAQ last Friday. So the trade that I took, it actually followed our strategy like to a T, but because of all the bearish news of like just the shit going on, ended up not being the best trade that we wanted to take. So we had these 4-hour lows right here, and then on ES we had these same 4-hour lows right here. Essentially, it was as simple as we had boom, price comes down, we get a high time frame liquidity sweep, we have all of this low resistance draws and liquidity. I was really only just targeting these highs. Like if we could just come up and take out this low resistance draw and liquidity, boom, I would have banked for the day. That was the target, just later in the day, unfortunately for me. But price came down, we sweep high time frame liquidity, awesome. We get a high time frame break of structure, or sorry, a 5-minute break of structure to the upside, and then from there we end up coming down, sweeping out these lows again, and then on ES we actually end up sweeping out these lows as well. So ES was the same exact situation, except on ES, where was this day? Except on ES, we were far lower than where we were on NASDAQ. So these were the lows that we were looking at on NASDAQ. And I'm pretty sure these were the lows that ES was underneath. So NASDAQ was only underneath these lows and ES was underneath these lows. So I saw that and I'm like, awesome, high time frame SMT divergence from whatever the lows that I didn't mark out up to these lows here, and on ES it's from boom the lows that I did mark out on ES down to the lows down there. We get a 5-minute break of structure to the upside. And I can't remember, I took a screenshot of it or I screen recorded it, but let me just make sure that I know exactly what the trade was so I don't be capping. Where's this screen recording? Bro, where is it? It's last Friday. Okay, so it's gonna be up here a bit, maybe. Where the fuck is this? Also, the trade that we're currently in is going in our direction. Where is this video? Here we go. So when was this taken at? 11:21. Hold on, let me see the current trade. Oh, nice. Give me a moment. Did we take out those lows? No, not yet. Equal lows. On NASDAQ, we're not even close to them. I think that that's what's going to happen. We're at equal lows right here. We took them out. So I'm going to go ahead and close partial positions here. And then move stop loss to break even on all of these other ones. Awesome. We're in profit for the day. Sorry, I'm doing like two things at once. Trying to explain to you guys the losing trade, trying to manage the winning trade. Okay, so that puts me at, sorry, we'll go back to the last trade. Damn, that's it? I mean, okay, that sounds bad, but I was hoping that it would be more. That makes me $30,000 on the day, or $29,600 on the day on that winning trade. Now we can go back. I'll continue keeping my eye on this, but we can go back to this NASDAQ trade. 1020. So, okay, yeah, I was right here. So after seeing the breakup structure to the upside, I was looking for equilibrium to get hit from these lows up to these highs, but then unfortunately we end up coming down and we end up sweeping out these lows again. But however, my bias was still intact because we were still sweeping out a high time frame draw on liquidity while also making a bullish divergence off of the high time frame liquidity, right? Because NASDAQ was a lot higher than ES was, and following that, what do? We end up inversing this 5-minute gap. So I'm like, okay, awesome. We get a high time frame sweep. We get a high time frame change in order flow. Now I can do the exact same thing that I was doing before, and I can just, boom, go ahead and look for equilibrium or a fair value gap. And in this case, we had equilibrium. Boom, price comes down, fills equilibrium. We come down, we fill it, and then boom, we get an inverse gap to the upside right here. I entered long right here. I think I had my stop loss like underneath here. And I was just looking to target these highs just for like a simple one take profit, and then boom, immediately got smoked. Lost everything and lost $150,000 on Friday. And that was the only trade that I took that week. But in my opinion, it was a good trade, and it was pretty. I mean, obviously, I lost the trade, but I can't complain because I executed my strategy the way that, I would any other day. And unfortunately, the fundamental news was just not in my favor. And until Trump was able to, come back and announce like, hey, we're going to have a solution to the tariffs. We have stimulus checks coming through. That's when the market started to rally, versus prior to that, we were in like a super deep sell-off. There was a lot of fundamental news stacking up against us. So now we can go ahead and look at the trade that I'm in right now. I made $30,000 once this take profit got hit. Stops are at break even right now. I think I can actually, because we were going sideways for such a decent amount of time, I wouldn't mind extending this. Where's the 4 hour? Yeah. I low-key think just targeting these lows is perfect. We can go ahead and set some take profits right here at these market open lows right here, and then just the rest at these equal lows right here. That's just a really simple and easy take profit point. And also it helps that ES is the leading index because we can see that NASDAQ isn't even close to these lows. I think what's going to happen is ES is going to come all the way down here, sweep out these lows, while NASDAQ doesn't come close to these lows. NASDAQ will probably only sweep out these lows, and then that is what's going to kickstart the next leg up to these highs that we are probably going to want to take out. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and set the take profits real quick. But all right, cool. To be completely honest with you guys, I have a lot of other shit that I need to do today, and because it's like 10:45 and the market typically moves pretty slow around this time. You guys know my stop loss is at break even, made 30K on this drop right here. I'll be able to make a total if every single take profit gets hit from here on out, I'll be able to make, what is that, 18,000, with another 18,000, so that's 36,000, and then that's 22,000, so what, that's 58,000, and then that's another 22,000, so that's 80,000, and then if this gets hit, then that'll be 101,000. So if every single take profit gets hit, then I'll make an extra $101,000 on this, on top of the already solidified $29,600 P&L that I already, or profit that I already made. So that would put me at around $130,000 win today. If you guys can't tell, I am sizing up for the month of November. So again, that's why Friday's loss was a little bit larger than normal. I am sizing up, so expect larger swings both up and down. But yeah, that's what you guys can expect. I'll update you guys via Instagram stories as this keeps going, or I'll just wait until the rest of this trade plays out, and then I'll show you guys the finalized P&L on my Instagram story. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get this uploaded to YouTube. Love and appreciate you guys. Bank holiday tomorrow, so don't trade, don't be stupid, and then we'll get back at it like a crack addict on Wednesday.